So welcome to everyone watching this video. My name is Rohan Vashish and this is the fourth video of the series of creating a CSV parser in Zig programming language. Now, in the previous video, if you have not checked that, please check it out. We made this function memory safe, right? We had implemented the header list or dinit functions. Like if there is an error, it would deinitialize the memory safely. And we also had implemented this like allocator dot free, and we had also done the number of columns counting. Now in this video specifically, what we need to do is you can see that we have this loop, right, which is iter for headers dot next. So we are getting every single header in the row. Now what we need to do is we need to count every single column in a row. If the number of columns in that row matches the number of columns in the very first row of the CSV file, then it indicates that that row is a valid row in the CSV parsing thing, right? So let's just do that. This is basically we are implementing a validation of CSV. So we would be checking if the CSV is a valid CSV or not. So let's just do that. Var, and we need to add that is the column count. Column count will be equal to 0, right? Like initially it's 0. Then for every single iteration, I need to do column column count will be plus equals to 1. So we are incrementing the column every single after every iteration. And once this iteration is complete, we need to check if the column count is equal to the oh sorry, if we need to check if it is not equal to, right? So if the column count is not equal to the number of columns, then that shows us that the CSV is not a valid like it's not a valid CSV file. For that, we also need to maintain the number of rows that we are maintaining right here. So I should be printing the error message with at which column sorry, at which row and at which column that issue has arisen. So if column count is not equal to number of columns, we would be throwing a new error, that is we would be returning an error dot header not found empty CSV. Then we have invalid CSV error. Yeah, this should be invalid CSV error. uh I had declared it right here. If the number of columns don't match the number of columns in the header, we had done this in the very first video of this series. So we have invalid CSV error. So if we are having this invalid CSV error, we are showing this obviously. And this would indicate that the number of columns is not equal to the number of columns in that specific column, right? How about like I just talked about how we could add a functionality to show at which row or which column that error is. But like this is something which we are building a library and not a program, right? So there is a difference between library and a program. If you are building a library, you should have the flexibility to throw errors so that the person using your library would be able to handle those errors correctly in their program. And if you are building a program, then you should incorporate all of this like issues and all of this things, right? That's the thing. Now if the column count is not equal to the number of columns, we are throwing this error. Else, obviously, this would continue and there would be no issues, and that's a good thing. And the number of rows, obviously, the number of rows can be like till the range of U32. That's a huge range, and columns is also a huge range. So I think that's enough for implementing the number of columns. Let's just check it out. And firstly, I need to open the terminal. Correct. And let's just do zig build run. Okay, so we are facing some issue. CSV installed CSV parser. The following command failed. Okay, so obviously we need to add the type of column count. So column counts type is this should be U16 only because that's the maximum limit. So that would be the maximum limit. And we are getting some different kind of issue. That is, let's just check what the issue is exactly. I think the issue is most probably regarding the like after this, right? So self-aligned allocator. This is generally because we are not freeing the memory or something. That would be the issue. But I think that the issue is like uh, just before recording this video, I just ran the program and I saw that the very last line of the CSV file, that is this, let me just go to the very last line. This is the 368 line, like this line. This is a new line. And it would be thinking, like I'm not thinking that, like when we are parsing this CSV, it would see this line and it would treat it like a column. And if it treats this like a column, then obviously that's an issue because a CSV file has a new line at the end because nowadays people do keep a new line at the end of files. Hence, we need a system that can ensure that this new line, if this comes in, we are able to handle it. So, iter for lines dot next line, we are getting the next line. If line is equal to this, like empty string, or yeah, or line. Actually, we cannot compare strings like this, right? We need to use std dot mem dot compare. No, std dot mem dot equals. Yeah, equal. So this is a u8 and this is line and this is a space. So if the line is this or the line is just a new line character. So if the line is just a new line character, if any of this thing happens, obviously we need to ignore that line. So we would be doing continue, and I think so that would work. So let's just run this again. Hopefully it does not fail on this time. Oh, okay, it failed. So that's not the issue, I think. So what's the issue? Let's just check that. So if the column count is not equal to number of rows, right? So the column count is this is not equal to number of rows, which is this. So we are comparing them and then we are throwing an error. So return, oh, sorry, we don't need to do this. We need to do the CSV passing errors dot invalid CSV error, right? So that should be the thing. Let's just run that again. Okay, that's again an issue. So I think this this issue is more related towards us like not checking the f reference, right? So let's just check that f reference minus trace something. Okay, so let's just try to understand the actual issue. So we are doing to own slice, row dot to own slice, and row dot to own slice, try append row result, and then let's just quickly scroll through this error and check the actual issue. So it is catching in the root main. Okay, so now I understood. So just for just for our testing purposes, why not use the C allocator? That's the advantage of Zig programming language. We can use any allocator that we want. So let's just do std dot c dot allocator. I mean that's a thing, right? Like c dot allocator. No, sorry. It should be std dot mem dot c allocator, I think. Std dot heap dot c allocator. C allocator. Yeah. This is the thing which we need to use to, like at least get it working so that we can know the issue. Okay. At least we know. Okay, so invalid CSV error. We are facing an invalid CSV error. Okay. Finally, we know the issue. So why is this issue? What we are doing exactly is we have the column count, which is 0. Then we are appending the column count. And if the column count is not equal to number of columns, then that's a CSV parsing issue. Why not just do an at the rate panic? Panic. Uh, no, I don't think so. We can do at the rate panic. Let's just do std dot debug dot print, the very simple thing. And let's just do this tab and print the column count and the number of columns. So let's just see what's the actual thing, like what are the values. Okay, save it and let's just run that again. Okay, so we can see that we have 1 colon 22. Why it's 1? Why is it 1? Column count is 0. Then for every single column, we are parsing this. And okay, let's just also print the number of row, like the number of row, so that we can, understand at which row is this issue happening. So this issue is happening at the very last row, as I told you in this. So I mean, why am I showing you this all of this debugging part? Because like this is the way how you reach to the, like till the very destination. Like I try to never add any cuts between my video. That's the reason, because I want to show you how to, reach the point where you are facing the issue. That's the thing. So this line 368, we were checking like if that line 368 is this, or if the line 368 is a new line, then we would be doing continue, right? So we won't be considering this part. And the rows dot append number of rows will be plus equal to 1. I mean, this should be working at this point. Why is it not working? Let's just do one more thing, because we are splitting on the new line. Why not just do, or the line is just nothing, or the line is just empty line. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like that would be the thing that would, yeah, we have fixed the issue. That was simple. Actually, that was not that simple. That was like we need to see the whole trace and just check what was the issue. Okay, so like we have reached the bottom of the issue, and we know at this point like this is working pretty well, and we are also printing each and every single column, and 22 is the number of columns which we have. So this worked pretty well. Now, for the time being, let's just go to the build.zig file, and let's just shift all of the things into a new zig file, right? So for doing that, I would be removing all of this, like all the unnecessary stuff from this. So exe, run exe unit, the run lib test unit. We don't have a lib test unit right now. Um, okay, so let's just first remove the root.zig file, because we just don't need that root.zig file. And let's just hit Control S. I mean Command S if you're on Mac OS. Then do zig build run and remove all of this part. We don't need F reference anymore. Okay, so we have got the list of issues. So there is no source/root.zig. So let's just search for root and the root.zig. So obviously we don't need to add this line because we don't need a root.zig. So remove this module. Then again, let's just check for more issues. I think the issue is here. So add import CSV parse lib. No, we don't need that. Then again, let's just remove this entire part, add library. Again, we need to import delete this part. Then we have this root module, lib module. Let's just remove that as well. Add run artifact. Again, we need to remove this. And the final step is this. Let's just remove that. I think so. The root.zig file has been eliminated completely. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. So let's just get it running again. Zig build run. Okay, it's building the entire thing. And hmm. Okay. Okay, so it's working now because we are using the main.zig file right now, right? For now, let's just move all of these things into a new file. So I would be creating inside the source a new file, and that would be our, library CSV lib dot zig, and I would be first copying this into this thing. So these are all the errors. If the number of columns don't match the number of columns in the header, occurs when header is not implemented in a CSV file, which implies that the CSV file is empty, right? Okay, so those are all the error handlings. Then I also need to place this, and we need to make this public. So public, so that this is accessible from everywhere. Or do we need to do this? Mm, I think so because somebody can import it and then check for like they can do try and catch on that. We also need to make this public. I mean, actually, making this public is not necessary, but let it be public. Then we have actually no, I don't think so. We should make this public because then it will make people confused about okay, what's that, and let's just implement that because I have had that experience earlier. Copy this, and obviously this function would be public because this is the thing which we want people to access public. And std is not available. Let's just import that std. Okay, so const std will be equal to @import std standard library of zig, and we have implemented this part. Now the main file, okay, we would keep this main file in here only, like here itself, and remove all of this because we don't need this, like remove this part till here. And I would be doing const lib will be equal to @import, and we would be importing uh the csv lib.zig, and that's it. Like we can then use this for our parsing the csv file. So paste this dot parse, and that's it. That would work. Let's just make a gp allocator again. Yep, just like that. um okay, this should work. Okay, I think so everything should work at this point. So we are importing our library, which we have just now made. Like we have shifted all the code into this library. We would also be adding, new functions like display function, display the CSV file, print the CSV file in a table way. Maybe we would be adding that because firstly, I would be soon creating a poll where I would ask you like if you need that part or not. And for now, I think this is enough. Like we have created this. Let's just run this for once, like just to just check if that's working or not. Okay, Zig build run, and yeah, that's working. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel, and for more such content. And thank you everyone.